Continue now with Frank Luntz and his focus group live from New Orleans tonight. I guess the next question, the logical question we've got to ask here, the government's response to this disaster that has happened here. We had a pre-approved plan for an oil burn that was not used. They can no longer use chemical dispersements. Bobby Jindal, the governor of Louisiana, was begging for equipment and booms. That was not forthcoming. The opportunity to build a barrier, that didn't happen. I want them to grade the administration's response and talk about their responsibility in this and what they think happened.
Don, you got it. Let's grade. Let's grade the administration. A, B, C, D, or F in its handling of what has happened down here. Who'd give the administration an A? Raise your hands. Not one of you. Who'd give it a B? Not one of you. Who'd give it a C? 3, 4, 5, 7 of you, 8 of you. Who'd give it a D? And who'd give it an F? That many of you. So what do you want from them?
All I want is Louisiana to get their fair share right now of oil revenue. Right now we get less than 10% of the oil revenue. We supply 50% of the monies that go into the mineral management, and we want the 50% that every other state in the country gets. 50%, give it now. We would have not made any money on the BP rig when they found the oil, because that doesn't happen until another 6 years out. We would have made nothing.
We could have built our own berms.
Mary?
But we're just not interested in residuals. We're also interested in safety and regulations, and I think that's the most important procedures that we need to follow.
Jeff?
We need the government to make sure that BP doesn't weasel their way out of cleaning up this disaster completely. By using the courts, don't let them use the courts, don't let them use any type of disaster cap to get out of cleaning this up completely.
Terry, if you were in charge and you could control what happened to the CEO of BP, what would you do?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
What I would do is take the CEO of BP. I would take some of that oil. I would heat it up. I would cover him in it. I would take some of the feathers off of the dead pelicans. I would wash it in Dawn. I would stick them on him. I would plop him in the middle of the oil slick and lose his buoyancy and sink to the bottom.
You are a sick human being.
Yes, I am. But not as sick as he is.
One thing that we want the people to know is that we're very resilient down here, and we don't want to play victim, but we want to be able to get this situation fixed.
You're a small business owner, correct?
Yes, I am.
Do you hold the president responsible for the image of what's happening down here?
Very much so.
Why?
Well, I think that it's sort of a domino effect. First you have a situation where they want the moratorium for 6 months. It's going to kill our industry.
We need some tactical solutions,
just
right?
for 1 second,
Quickly.
Please. We're not underwater down here. We need people to come in. Tourism is our biggest industry aside from the oil industry. We need people to keep coming to New Orleans and Louisiana. Otherwise, we're going to be dead.
Sean? John, I hope that's a plea that Americans are listening to tonight. I hope they're paying attention to it.
Listen, this is impacting everybody's life down there. And this is my next question, because they've been through Katrina. Now they have this major oil spill. I want you to explore with them where their faith, their level of confidence is in terms of government being able to help them in the end.
Sean wants to know about your faith and confidence in government. How many of you have faith? None?
None.
Zero? How many of you by show of hands say absolutely none?
None.
Look at this.
None.
Why none? Why
Me?
none at all? Yeah.
Why? Because I'm looking at what they're doing now. President Obama has proposed this moratorium on the oil drilling. We survived Katrina. We were coming back halfway decent. This oil spill occurred. Everybody's talking about blaming BP, punishing BP. We haven't even determined if BP did anything wrong yet. But we need to go ahead and work in a unified front in one direction, as all Americans do when they solve any kind of a problem.
And do you have faith in Washington?
No, I was on Grand Isle when they were cleaning up the oil spill, and I saw exactly how inefficient they were with the oil. There was no confidence at all in what they were doing.
Nora, any faith in Washington to get this done?
Yeah, this is the second time that we are treated as a third world state. Second time, Katrina and now this.
The same situation, that if they would just get out of the way and let us do it, give us the resources, we have the manpower, we have the intelligence, we have the skill, just give us some money and some
manpower, and we'll take care of it.
We started the offshore oil industry here, Frank. This is where it started. The expertise is here, and we should not hold the entire industry hostage because of a screw-up by one company.
But it's a major screw-up.
Of course it's a major screw-up. We know that more than anybody.
It's destroying your environment. It's just destroying.
But the government
So we deal with
doesn't have
it.
the expertise to respond. They no sooner talk about a moratorium on drilling, and if we find out that his advisors didn't agree with that.
Okay.
So we're getting these mixed messages.
So once again, how many of you don't trust Washington? That is not a good sign. You know, Sean, I give you all credit. They're fighters, they're believers, and they're absolutely going to come back. But there's a message for the rest of America. Fix it now. Washington, either fix it or get the hell out of the way.
Well said. Frank, at this point, they deserve better from their government. 53 days. Mr. President, help them. Help them. All right, thanks for being with us, Frank Luntz. And coming up, Helen Thomas gets some much-needed support, but I'm not so sure she's going to be happy from where it's coming from.